Freeze and Katie Benson. We're going to open it up for questions from the in-person media first, and then anybody on the Zoom call. If you can use the raise hand function, we'll get to as many questions as we can with you guys there as well. So we'll start it off with questions.
Hey y'all, Kareem Copeland, Washington Post. Angel, I want to start with you. How nice is it when the two people sitting to your left and right get going like they did last night, and it starts to feel a little bit more like last year felt?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great feeling, especially going into the tournament. I mean, having everybody, I think everybody in the starting lineup had double figures. So that's a great thing going into the tournament, and them having their confidence, getting boogie. So I was just letting them do their thing, and I was just getting rebounds and just doing whatever I can to hit my shooters and my point guard.
Go up front to the left.
Katie, Noah Trister with AP is curious. This is two of the top 5 three-point shooters, I guess, all time playing in this game. Do you know Kendall Spray at all? Have you followed her career at all? And I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on sort of the way FGCU plays with the number of threes they take in a game? Does that look like a fun system to play in?
Yeah, their style of play looks pretty fun, just launch from 3 and go from there. And it's definitely unique. Not many teams play that way. So, we're looking forward to the challenge of playing them. They're a really good team, so it's going to be a hard battle. And in terms of Spray, she's a great shooter. I don't know her personally, but I've heard great things, so it's just going to be a fun game.
Ben Dixon, Testudo Times. Hey, Katie. Can you talk about kind of your role as a grad student leader in the locker room, kind of, especially in this March Madness format, how you can keep everyone loose and kind of keep the morale high here, obviously with the stakes so high?
Yeah, it's not a hard job after last night's game. Everyone's feeling confident after last night, and we're just excited for the new challenge, just taking one game at a time, and just keeping that same mental toughness and that same preparedness for tomorrow and hopefully more games to come.
Going to the back left.
Damon Brooks, Testudo Times. Ashley, your offense seemed to be clicking yesterday. What are you looking forward to build on going into tomorrow's game versus Florida Gulf Coast?
As a team or just myself?
Collectively and yourself.
As a team, just continuing to have fun and share the ball. I think we did a great job taking care of the ball and just sharing the ball and having fun as a team.
All right, we're going to go to the other side. Dave in the back.
Dave Preston, WTOP Radio in Washington. Angel, the last couple weeks, there have been a lot of standalone games, the week off before the tournament, then 2 weeks off. How nice is it to be back in a rhythm where it's a game, off day, and a game again?
I mean, of course, we enjoyed our off time, but I mean, I think we've learned a lot from practice and focusing in practice on the things that we learned from the Big Ten tournament. So I think we've focused as a team, getting our confidence back, and of course, being at home is a great thing. So I think we're in a good space right now.
Up in front. Just wait for the mic.
Hey, Ash, going to go back to you. How did you feel health-wise? I know you said, in practices you kind of felt, all the way back, but did you feel all the way back? And yesterday, when did you kind of feel like you were in the groove? I don't know if there was a point of the game or if it was just the flow of everything, but at what point did you kind of feel like yourself?
I would just say at the start of the game, I felt great in warm-ups. Been feeling great in practice. I've enjoyed the time that we've had off to, regroup and get our stuff together during practice. But I would just say I felt good at the beginning of the game.
Back left.
Damon Brooks, Testudo Times. Katie, tomorrow will be your last game at the Xfinity Center. What will you take away from playing at this great arena?
Just cherishing the moment. I've had some great games with my teammates and with my coaches, and, it's been a blessing to play here. And so I'm just looking forward to it.
Back to Dave in the back right.
Question for any of the players. Crowd last night, if you could address the lift that it gave you folks, and then what are you expecting tomorrow from the crowd here?
Yeah, I mean, that's like our sixth man. And, I mean, from being from Maryland, being from Baltimore, having my family here, my friends here, and then, I mean, I think our student section, they came out as well. So I think a lot of people came out to the game, and I think we'll have more tomorrow. So it's been great.
We're going to go on to the Zoom. We have a question from Milton Kent. Go ahead, Milton.
Thank you. This is for, I guess, for any of the players, any of you. Who on your schedule does FGCU remind you of? And can you talk about the challenge of playing a team who plays so differently than any other team that you might face?
Yeah, I think FGCU really reminds us of Villanova, just playing five guards and just spreading the floor really well. And like you said, it's different from any team we've played before. And I think we're looking forward to the challenge. You know, it's going to show how much we've improved this year. And we're just looking forward to going out there and playing hard and seeing how far we've come.
Back in person, we'll go.
Hey, Ashley, I was wondering if you had any thoughts or just remember anything from Kirsten Bell. Obviously, she was at Ohio State your freshman year and kind of the player she is now going against a player like that.
Yeah, she's a very talented player. You know, very versatile, big guard. So I'm excited for tomorrow.
Do we have any more questions for the Maryland players? All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be joined by Maryland head coach Brenda Freeze shortly. All right, we're now joined by Maryland head coach Brenda Freeze. Coach is going to start with an opening statement, and then we'll take questions from the in-person media and then the Zoom media.
Yeah, obviously we're extremely grateful to be able to be here to coach this team for another day. Our seniors, to have another practice and another game. But, I loved how we played last night. I thought, it was one of our most complete games. We competed, and, I thought it was probably the way we shared the basketball was really, fun to be able to watch. It was a fun game. We're going to need that, obviously, against a team, with underseeded Florida Gulf Coast, playing with a chip on their shoulder, and they should. I mean, they're not a 12 seed. I mean, this is, if that's a 12 seed, they've shown, through their play, I mean, just it's an experienced team, playing at a really high level, obviously led by Kirsten Bell, who we're very familiar with from her time at Ohio State. This is a team that wants to shoot a lot of threes, and, they don't make a lot of mistakes. They don't beat themselves. So, we're going to really have to be on point with our defense and taking away the threes, and excited to be able to have another, great crowd, our sixth man in the stands, and the energy that they gave us yesterday.
Thank you, Coach. We're going to start to your left in the front row. Noah?
Just curious what you sort of observed from them when I'm sure you've watched the film already of their game yesterday, and sort of how they defended Kitley and what adjustments they made on her late. It's obviously not the same exact situation with your low post players, but what were you able to take from that?
Yeah, well, they're going to double down. They're going to dig. They're going to throw, a lot of different things. You saw defensively. I mean, they do a great job digging. They off the bounce into the post and making life difficult. So, again, we're going to have to be unselfish and share the basketball, move the basketball like we did for each other yesterday.
Hey, Coach, Ben Dixon, Testudo Times. Obviously, FGCU being so lethal from three, does it kind of prompt you and your coaching staff to look back at those games where, whether it was Maddie Nolan, Taylor Mikesell, where players did explode from three and kind of learn from that to make sure it doesn't happen tomorrow?
Yeah, fortunately we've played in games like this. Villanova, especially in the non-conference, spreads you out with a 5-out, and our conference obviously prepares us with a lot of great shooters. But their motion offense, to have a one-day prep, is really difficult. But this time of year, you have to lend back to your experience, defensively and how you play, is going to be huge.
In the back.
Damon Brooks, Testudo Times. Kirsten Bell does a great job of setting solid screens and slipping them and getting to the basket. Can you speak to the importance of communicating on pick and rolls and make sure that you identify her at all times?
Yeah, a huge piece to their offense and, driven by their best players. So, she's extremely talented. She's a pro for a reason. So, our communication defensively is going to have to be on point, through the slips, through the, being able to guard her. She's really what makes them go, within that offense.
Back right, Dave.
Brenda, Dave Preston, WTOP Radio. The way they share the ball offensively, 19 assists last night on 30 made baskets, the motion offense, what sort of challenge does that pose your team defensively?
Yeah, well, that, and they shoot a lot of threes. So, defensively, we're going to have to disrupt. We're going to have to, really be on point, defensively, because they don't make a lot of mistakes, But from our end, we've got to defensively turn them into making a lot of mistakes, and then on the other end, value possessions. If they, aren't being turned over, we've got to be able to value possessions on the offensive end.
Front row.
Hey, Brendan. Kareem
Hey.
Copeland, Washington Post. In a game like this, is there opportunity for Angel to kind of have a big night, considering, they're not the biggest team, and, the way that she hits the boards and, her double-doubles and things like that? Is there a
Yeah.
little bit of opportunity there for her?
Yeah, no question. I mean, you saw what Kitley was able to do. You saw, I thought Angel was terrific yesterday. I mean, she set the tone from the tip. Her, presence, started us, and then it led to her being unselfish to be able to go inside out. So, yeah, I mean, if I was game planning against us, they've got to figure that element out. But at the same point, she's shown all season long, that she wants that responsibility, and she's obviously the presence we need.
Damon Brooks, Testudo Times. Coach, can you speak to Tashara Morehouse's ability to penetrate the lane and get into the paint and create opportunities for herself and our teammates?
Yeah, one of the fastest guards I think we'll have ever seen up to this point. I mean, she's really, really fast, really talented, makes them go, in transition in their half court, getting downhill, just a really special player for them.
Next question comes from Zoom. We have Milton Kent. Go ahead, Milton.
About on offense, do you have to talk to your players about the tendency to stay away from trying to match them in terms of shooting threes because they shoot so many that perhaps your kids feel like they have to shoot to match their offense?
Yeah, hopefully not. I think, we've shown this season we kind of know who we are and what our identity is. But, I mean, obviously, I think they can't get deflated by the number of threes they take. And obviously, we need to make it difficult, for them from the three-point line. But, for us, it's just continuing to play the right way, within our own offense.
Thank you, Milton. Do we have any more questions for Coach Freeze? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
first, then Andrea. All right, we're now joined by Florida Gulf Coast players Kendall Spray, Andrea Sealsole, and Tashara Morehouse. We'll take questions from the media in person. If you guys can raise your hand, we'll get you a mic, and then we'll go to the people on the Zoom. Please use the raise hand function in the Zoom, and we'll get to you guys as well. We'll start it off here in the front.
Hey, y'all. Kareem Copeland, Washington Post. Congratulations on making second round. Just for everybody, for anybody, when you watched that Maryland tape last night from their game, you know, they put up 102 points. What stands out to you as far as what you guys got to do defensively?
I could say they're very long and athletic. We have to be able to rebound, box out, get back in transition, and then just play FGCU basketball and play together.
To the left, Noah.
Kendall, I'm curious if you followed Katie Benson's career at all. You guys are both top 5 in all-time three-pointers, and how excited are you for this matchup?
I'm excited. I'm not really worried about that right now, but we do have to lock her down and just know that she is a great shooter, and we have to respect her.
Ben Dixon, Testudo Times. For any of the players, obviously overcoming a huge game from Elizabeth Kitley last night. Angel Reese had a heck of a season as well. How do you kind of limit her offensive production tomorrow and still be able to get the outcome you want?
We have to guard them as a team. Obviously, they're going to have a size advantage. So it's something that we talk about in practice all the time, is that we have to help each other and have each other's backs.
Damon Brooks, Testudo Times. Tashara, you seem to enjoy getting into the paint and creating penetration for your teammates and for yourself. Can you speak to your ability, how important that's going to be tomorrow for the outcome of the game?
We know that they switch a lot, and I know that me getting to the paint will draw a lot of attention, so it makes it easier for me to kick it out to my teammates and get threes, and I'll have a lot of opportunities to get threes myself because they know that I penetrate the paint a lot, so I think it's going to be a good game.
To your right, Dave.
Question for any of the players: the style that you folks bring to the game. It's to paraphrase the men's program years ago. They may have been dunk city, but you folks are 3-point city. What sort of mentality, what confidence, and how contagious is that when each of you are able to get it going from outside?
What we actually call ourselves is raining threes, and it's something that we take a lot of pride in. It's a fun way to play basketball, and we focus on getting our three-pointers, and that's our game, and that's our style.
Yeah, we practice threes every day. Half of the practice is shooting threes, so we have a lot of confidence when it comes to shooting, no doubt.
We're going to go to the Zoom. We have Sean.
Yeah, guys, this is for any one of you, but, after yesterday's win, does that kind of build your confidence headed into the second round? And just what are the feelings entering tomorrow?
I think that it built a lot of confidence, especially with just us being the 12th seed in general, and we just want to prove, not even just prove to people, but prove to ourselves that we have the ability to make it to the next round. So yeah, that was a good push.
We're going to go back to Damon in the back left.
Damon Brooks, Testudo Times. Maryland had 50 points in the paint. They also were, prolific yesterday from three. How important will it be to, combat them in the paint and also try to run them off the three-point line?
That's very important, and I feel like following our game plan that we've gone over last night and today is very helpful, and just knowing that they do have really great shooters and people that can post up. So we just have to help each other and know everybody is out on the court and never leave Benson.
Back on the Zoom, we have Judith. Go ahead, Judith.
Hi, this is a question for Tashara. I was at the game yesterday, so I saw you, and obviously you're way shorter than everyone. So how do you use your your height almost like disadvantage when you're playing against people way taller than you?
I've been playing against people taller than me my whole life, even grown men. So I know that I'm at their knees, so anytime they're dribbling, I look for a steal. Just make sure they don't get past the perimeter.
Do we have any more questions from the in-person media? Sean, did you have one more? Is your hand still raised?
Yeah, Kendall. So last time we talked, you said you came to FGCU because you wanted to win a championship. You wanted to play in the NCAA tournament. While you're here, so how's this ride been for you personally?
It's been awesome just making it here, but knowing that we won our first game builds a lot of confidence, and we're here to make a statement, and we know we can do that. We just have to play together every day, and we can make a long run in this tournament.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good, how are you?
Good.
Sit right there.
All right, happy to.
All right, everyone. Joined by Florida Gulf Coast head coach Carl Smesko. We're going to start with some opening remarks from Coach, and then we'll take the questions from the in-person media and then the media on the Zoom. Coach?
Had a great win in a great atmosphere yesterday. Really competitive game. Feel really good about how our team responded at the end. Now the next challenge is upon us. We're playing a great team on their home court for the right to go to the Sweet 16. So it's going to take a tremendous effort. It's going to take some great shooting, and just everybody competing at their highest level.
All right, thank you, Coach. We're going to start with Noah to your left.
Just curious what you're seeing from this Maryland team. They like to certainly comfortable playing at a high tempo despite not having a particularly long bench this year. What do you expect in tomorrow's game in that regard?
Well, they're one of the best teams in transition in college basketball, and they run on every possession. So I'm sure they will be running tomorrow. We're going to have a good effort in defensive transition to try to get them to have to run plays. We don't want them to be running by us and getting behind us for easy baskets. We want to make them work for everything, and that starts with getting them slowed down in conversion.
We got Ben in the second row.
Hey, Coach. Ben Dixon, Testudo Times. Obviously overcoming a huge performance from Elizabeth Kitley yesterday. How does that focus kind of shift to Angel Reese and kind of not allowing her to have that same type of game while also getting the result that you want?
Well, we're going to have to do some of the same things. We were a little slow to adjust to causing problems on deep post-ups yesterday, but we play the way we play. Sometimes the big players can cause us problems around the rim, but they also have to guard us, and we can stretch people out with our players having so many shooters on the floor. But Maryland's, as everyone knows, is a super talented team. They've got great players all over the floor. So if you're going to overly commit to one person, someone else is going to give you a lot of problems.
Damon in the back left.
Damon Brooks, Testudo Times. Maryland had 50 points in the paint yesterday. How important will it be to, congesting the paint and also making it difficult for them to, convert easy layups in front of the rim?
Well, we definitely don't want to give up any easy layups. That starts with conversion, and then they crash the offensive boards really hard. So everybody on our team's got to be committed to helping do their job on the boards. Try to limit how many second opportunities they get, because a lot of those second opportunities are within 2 feet of the basket. They're really highly efficient shots. So the conversion, the rebounding, we're going to have to be excellent in both those areas to give ourselves a chance to do what we want to do.
To your right in the back, Dave.
Carl, Dave Preston, WTOP Radio in Washington. Could you address the joy you get from coaching this team and just how awesome it is in March to get 40 more minutes, at least, with this club, another day of prep with this team?
Yeah, that's part of the excitement in March is you have to win or it's over. And, we felt great yesterday because we get to, practice today and we get to prepare for another team. And, we want to keep this thing going another week and then another week after that. But it's all going to come down to tomorrow and how well we're able to play, how well we're able to execute a game plan. But that's what makes March so exciting is you get these opportunities and you don't get a second chance. So we're hoping to make the most of this one.
Front row to your right, Kareem.
Hey, Carl. Kareem Copeland, Washington Post. Congratulations on the win yesterday.
Thank you.
Do you like a matchup like this? You mentioned they like to get out in transition. It seems like two styles where everybody's going to be high-paced. Does that fit you guys well to kind of go up against something like that?
Well, they're really good. I don't know that anybody fits well with what they do. They're extraordinarily talented, but we like to get up and down, so we're used to a high pace. We know that they're like supercharged, so that we have to even be a little bit quicker in some of our reactions to our shot or their shot, so that we can do some of the things we want to do. But when you get to this point, you're probably going to play a very good team, and you're going to have to play great to win. And so I don't worry so much about who it is or what their style is. We just have to come up with a plan that gives us a chance, and I think we have that.
Back to Dave on your right.
Ashley Owusu, Katie Benson, two guards completely cut out of different molds. The challenge of containing them and their styles tomorrow, if you could expand on that.
Well, Benson is a great all-around player and one of the best shooters in the country. She had a great game yesterday. Owusu, she's a handful. She has a lot of dribble moves. She's strong. She gets to the rim. She can post up a little bit. But there's a lot of names. There's a lot of people that you got to guard. That's one. Sometimes even on good teams, there's a couple players that you can really kind of help from, and they're not serious offensive threats. That really isn't the case with Maryland. They put offensive players all over the court, and they're all capable of having big nights. So everybody's going to have to be locked in, and we just got to try and force as many tough shots as we can.
Damon Brooks, Testudo Times. Your team previously mentioned that, shooting the three is, really important to your offensive attack, and that you all practice it, consistently. Can you speak to the importance of the three-point attack to your offensive attack on a game-to-game basis?
Well, it's super important. We want to have as many threats from three as we can, just because it creates a lot more space, so you have opportunities to attack the rim, attack the paint, and then hopefully make good decisions once you get there. So we try to create maximum space on every offensive possession, and I don't think that's really even possible if you got multiple kids who can't shoot or don't need to be respected from the three. So for us, that's always been our style. We want you to have to chase all our shooters around, and then while you're doing that, hopefully we can score on a cut to the basket or find a driving lane to get to the rim. And if you come over to help, hopefully we make the right decision, get it to an open shooter.
On the Zoom, we have Sean.
Hey, Carl. So, with the matchup against Maryland, is that ironic to you at all, or does it bring back any fond memories from your couple of years in College Park? I know a lot has changed in 20 years, but ironic none the same.
Well, I had a great experience here. I was only here for a year, but I made some some lifelong friends while I was here, and I got to see what first-rate. It was an ACC program at the time, but I would see what a first-rate program, what it was like to be in a high-level program and how things were done. So I have some close friends this day that we work together on that staff. Jimmy Howard at Georgetown, Christy Winterscott, who's broadcasting the games. They were great friends to me then, and they're still great friends to me now.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
A recording of this press conference will be available at ncaa.com.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted in the box folder shortly. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today.